Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. Am I still doing that? Yeah, I'm still doing that. Alright, there was a nonviolent communication conversation yesterday, and I guess I got kicked out of it because I said the wrong thing again, because I do that. The basic idea here was with a nonviolent communication about lying. How do you call someone a liar? Tell someone they're lying in a non-violent communication fashion, and of course, most of the answers revolve around victimhood. And I'm just going to be really blunt about it. That's what it is. What people are telling me, the guy to say, is, I feel like I'm being attacked, and I feel like I'm being disrespected, and I feel like I'm not being allowed my voice, and all this victim stuff. I feel like I'm restricted because you lied. Well, and then the Nonviolent Communication Handbook has this really cheesy example of a father who starts yelling at his son because his son went joyriding and got arrested. And the son's like, I didn't do it. It's like, oh, you only said that because you're worried about an unfair punishment, not a fair punishment, and all that shit. I'm like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So this goes back to the consensus decision-making video that I made a couple of years ago that got several people very, very pissed. But it's the same thing going back to an extent. Like this, it's in the same line of thought. The nonviolent communication way to tell someone they're lying is to tell them that there's a lie. To tell them that that there's a lie, that there is a falsehood here. You don't necessarily have to say, you lied, but you can say, this statement does not appear to be true, and there's no, all of the evidence, everything in reality is pointing to the opposite. So we need to discuss this. It's different. It's not, there's a way to not say, you're a liar. You don't have to say it that way. You can, but that is not nonviolent communication. But don't sugarcoat the fact that there's a lie if there's a lie, okay? If you suspect and don't know and need to explore and all that, that's fine. That's totally cool. But, so most of the responses here are literally that you don't acknowledge that there is a lie at all. You just put a bunch of blame on the person for victimizing you because they told a lie. This is supposed to be non-violent. This non-violent is to take everything that they say and make it about how it hurts you. I'm just gonna say right now that that's, in interpersonal relations and psychology, that's not the kind of non-violence you think it is. That's actually pretty damn violent. I feel like I'm not being allowed to have my life because of what you said is not nonviolent communication. And it's all blaming. It's all very, very, I feel like things are bad because of you. You don't always say the because of you part out loud because it's nonviolent communication. It's blaming people in a very passive and indirect way so that they don't have a way to respond to the fact that you have just blamed them and attacked them. You see, if they don't have anything rational and logical to respond to, then it's not violent, right? Okay, don't do that. Just don't do that. There are aspects to the idea, the concept of nonviolent communication where we can communicate in constructive fashion, but this isn't it. So don't do that. If you have to talk about someone telling you a lie, maybe you can talk about the lie without blaming the person. Talk about the facts without blaming the person. You can say, I have to act as if what you said is not true because everything else is telling me it's not true. Every life experience, everything that I have to do in life, I have to act as if it's not true. oh, I gave you $1 million. I sent it to you. It's totally there. Well, no, I have to behave as if it's not, because it's not there. I don't have the money to pay the bills. I don't have this closing check for the shopping center or whatever it is that you do with $1 million. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's a really quick and short thing. It's just something that really popped up where I noticed this a lot with nonviolent communication courses, nonviolence courses in general, but also that whole consensus decision-making process, those classes on that. There's a lot of passive aggression. I don't want to say passive-aggressive because it doesn't mean what you think it means most of the time, but there's a lot of passive aggression, violence, aggression at people through claiming a sort of non-specific victimhood without giving them anything to sink their teeth into. And I don't think that's good. If there's a lie, you need to address the lie, not claim that you're not allowed to live because there's a lie. So stay sideways and be honest in your communication.